Xeer Ciise Oral customary laws of Somali-Issa communities. The Issa are one of the main Somali clans. The Somali-Issa live in countries that are located in the Horn of Africa, such as Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Somalia. The Somali-Issa make up the majority of the total population of Djibouti. The Somali-Issa also predominantly inhabit the areas located at the northeastern part of the Ethiopian Somali National Regional State, in City Zone that borders with Djibouti and Somalia. The Somali Regional State is the largest of all the regional states that have been established within the federal government of Ethiopia, next to Oromia. Jijjiga is the capital of the Somali region and is located at a driving distance of 621 kilometers to the southeast of Addis Ababa. The Somali-Issa in Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Somalia speak a common language known as Af-Somali, which belongs to the Eastern Cushitic linguistic stock and adheres to a single faith. All of the Somali-Issa people are Muslims and strictly practice Islamic teachings. The Somali-Issa communities are also rich in intangible cultural heritages, with an exceptional variety including living expressions, wedding ceremonies, traditional games, and craftsmanship, as well as traditional dancing. The well-known traditional dancing and singing of Somali-Issa, known as Harimade or Wilwile, is associated with the beginning of the traditional democratic governance system of Somali-Issa based on the oral customary laws. In terms of clothing, men wear a white t-shirt above their waist and put on a small white cotton garment on their shoulders. Below their waist, they wear light cotton cloth, which has woven strips in the middle and fastened with a cowhide belt. Women wear colorful dresses. They also wear traditional light shoes made of cowhide. They prepare it by tanning the leather of cattle and then cutting it into pieces on the size of a person's foot the shoe is made. There is no differentiation for the right and left foot, as any one of it could be used for either the left or right foot. To protect the safety of women, their shoes have the same design at the back and front so that the direction of their trip is not known from their footsteps. Most of the Somali-Issa in Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Somalia are transhuman pastoralists who are engaged in rearing domestic animals such as cattle, goats, sheep, and camels. Thus, they are mainly generating their income from production from these livestock. The Somali-Issa pastoral production system is characterized by a common use of natural resources, including pasture and water sources. The Somali-Issa pastoralists live in portable huts which are covered with woven mats or boiled bark that has been pulled into fine strands and plaited. These huts may be carried from one place to another on camel's back due to their periodic movement within their space of transhumance. The Somali-Issa in Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Somalia have in common oral customary laws known as Xeer Ciise, which they have kept working for the last 5 centuries. According to historical evidences, the oral customary laws, Xeer Ciise, was drafted and compiled in the 16th century at City Mountain by 44 fathers that represented the Somali-Issa communities in the 3 countries. The Somali-Issa oral customary laws, Xeer Ciise, has 6 main sections, 160 articles, 336 sub-articles, and 444 regulations that deal with the fundamental human rights and freedoms. The scholars and knowledgeable community members who participated in drafting the laws are referred to as Gande. The City Mountain, where the laws were drafted, is located in Ethiopian Somali Regional State, City Zone, Aisha District, Las Hadad Kabale. Kabale is the smallest administrative unit in Ethiopia. The Gande fathers who participated in the process of drafting the laws have inscribed the mark of their respective clan and sub-clan on the flat and comfortable stones used to sit on top of the mountain. The assembly of judges representing the 12 clans sit on stone seats marked with their tribe's identity. Xeer Ciise is a political response, challenging a situation of anarchy and violence. It is designed to build a new society based on the rule of law and served as the very foundation for maintaining the regional peace. The Somali-Issa community members in the three countries are also led by one traditional political leader known as Ugaz, who is also the spiritual father and the symbol of the law and guardian of the unity of the Confederation. His position is neither hereditary nor elective. He is chosen after a long process of collective search. The major criteria for the election of Ugaz states that the candidate must not commit crime and involve in any kind of conflicts and wars. He should be in his teens and has to be handsome and free from any kind of addiction. A young man who meets and fulfills all the criteria is elected as Ugaz. Starting the day he is chosen, he is considered as the son of all Somali-Issa. After this, the Ugaz will be kept in the countryside for 6 months and goes through all the lands of Issa and crosses the 12 rivers that are found in Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Somalia. On his way, the community members welcome him with joyful greetings and shout with high voice of excitement. Moreover, they give honor to him by putting green leaves on his head. When he arrives at Zayla in Somalia, he wears a turban on his head and is given the title of Ugaz and swears to honestly serve the people. The current and 19th Ugaz of Somali-Issa, who live in Djibouti, Somalia, and Ethiopia, is Mustafa Muhammad Ibrahim. The term of office of the Ugaz is for life. However, if he is accused of violating laws and regulations, could be impeached, tried, and uprooted from office and replaced by another Ugaz. The main headquarters of the Ugaz is customarily fixed to be in Djibouti city in Ethiopia. The Djibouti-Addis Ababa railway and highway, which bind Ethiopia to the outside world, pass across the city zone in Djibouti, which is a strategic location across the commercial route. Xeer Ciise is also a complex system that incorporates pivotal institutions such as Gudi and Gande. The Gudi is an assembly of judges with a very large set of powers at local level. The traditional judges, Gudi, represent the 12 clans of the Somali-Issa. They gather in the shade of trees used as courts and sit around in circle to hear the cases of conflicts. They arbitrate disputes and provide solutions according to the traditional law, Xeer Ciise. In urban areas, the Gudi assemble in modern halls known as Gedkanabeda, meaning tree of peace. The Gande is a constitutional court composed of 44 members with the same representation like Gudi. It handles exceptional cases that are not resolved by the regional bodies, notably those passed through the procedure of the 12 trees or appeals. The Gande usually conducts meeting at the residence of Ugaz, who preside over the assembly. They treat and solve cases of conflicts coming from individuals, clans, sub-clans, and neighboring societal groups. Decisions over the settlement of disputes are reached after thorough discussions. The representatives of the Somali-Issa communities living in Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Somalia also come together to exchange information in the joint consultation forums when current and national issues occur. They provide solutions to urgent problems using the oral customary laws. The oral customary laws, Xeer Ciise, which the Somali-Issa have been putting into practice, have multifaceted importance and contributed significantly to the efforts of ensuring peace and security, unity and solidarity of all the community members in the three countries, namely Djibouti, Somalia, and Ethiopia. Xeer Ciise has also a great contribution to environmental conservation and sustainable development by making laws that are favorable for the preservation of natural resources, especially indigenous trees. According to Xeer Ciise, laws stand above all men. Even the Ugaz is not above the law. Laws are not set with the purpose of limiting freedom of people, but to tackle the difficulties that face them in their day-to-day life. The oral customary laws are the strongest weapon for maintaining and promoting the peaceful coexistence of the Somali-Issa communities and treating one another equally. The oral customary laws have a significant contribution in helping the formal law by controlling illegal activities and reducing crimes ranging from simple to serious. The Somali-Issa recognize Xeer Ciise as part of their cultural heritage that deserve to be well safeguarded and handed down from generation to generation as a source of pride and sense of common identity. Therefore, representatives of the concerned community members of Somali-Issa and practitioners of the element request for the nomination and inscription of Xeer Ciise on the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO and confirmed their free, prior, and informed consent with their signatures.